story in Diablo 4 will appeal to both new players and hardcore Diablo fans. And when writing this next chapter, we really wanted to return to our darker roots.
Sanctuary is in a very interesting state right now. It's 50 years after Reaper of Souls from Diablo 3, where half of the population was exterminated by an archangel. The world has seen quite a bit of changes, quite a bit of scarring from its wounds that have not totally healed.
In these years of death and decimation, power vacuums have opened up and been filled by various factions you'll actually get to interact with in Diablo 4. Heroes of the past that we've known and loved have long since faded into memory, as well as an iconic order known as the Charakteren.
The world is a bit broken and wounded, and it's in this fragile state that Inarius and Lilith return, and they are the makers of Sanctuary, and their return may not mean the best for humanity.
Before Sanctuary was created, the heavens and the hells were battling each other in a non-stop war. Our Sanctuary was created by disenfranchised rebel angels and demons that wanted out. They didn't want to be a part of this never-ending war because there was literally no point. Two of those people were Inarius and Lilith.
Lilith is a demon and Inarius is an angel. They were part of the eternal conflict between heaven and hell, in which they were constantly fighting with each other.
When Lilith captured Inarius, she was ready to torture him, but when she learned that they're of like mind, she became his partner in crime. They stole a singular, most important object known as the World Stone, a massive, iconic, mountain-sized gem that has the ability of creation.
Inarius and Lilith helped to create the world of Sanctuary.
And that's where the name of the world comes from. It was their sanctuary to hide away from the eternal conflict.
They both have similar goals, but as an angel and as a demon, have different ways of going about it.
Inevitably, it wasn't going to last. They've clashed multiple times throughout the history of the Diablo universe, and the last time they met, Inarius banished Lilith from the world and locked her in this realm of darkness.
We wouldn't see Lilith again until the cinematic By 3 They Come, when a mysterious figure pulled her back into Sanctuary and set her loose on the world she helped create.
Inarius also suffered when the heavens found out where he was and what he had done, that he had created this world. He was punished and handed over to the burning hells as a peace offering.
Because of these two experiences, both Lilith and Inarius do share that they were betrayed and they've been disillusioned. That does not mean that they get along.
There's this rare moment in time where Inarius and Lilith are back on the world.
It is them fighting each other with humanity as their battleground.
When the story of Diablo 4 begins, this wanderer is trudging through the snowstorm in a place called the Fractured Peaks. Really, they're just looking for some shelter.
The player character in Diablo 4 is whoever the player wants to be. Are they running from something? Are they running to something? What kind of a person are they? We leave that up to them to decide.
They are seeking refuge from this blistering cold that saturates everything within the Fractured Peaks. They find a cave, and it is that moment where they're pulled into the bigger events of Sanctuary, these monumental moments that will be taking place that will shape and shake the world. It has been 50 years since Malthael, the aspect of death, culled about 50% of humanity. Humans struggle to survive in that 50-year gap after that massive culling. The humanity itself is trapped between the high heavens and the burning hells, and each are trying to influence humanity in their own way. The player is asked to save Sanctuary by a specific character that we actually remember from Reaper of Souls. His name is Lorath Nar.
Lorath in Diablo 4 is not the same Lorath from Diablo 3, Reaper of Souls. He's a changed man. He was a member of the Charakteren. And the Charakteren is this secretive order of scholars and mages who protect the world from demons and other supernatural threats.
Lorath is much older and weathered from the things that he's seen. He is struggling with who he is with the Charakteren and even without the Charakteren.
When Lorath learns of the player's interactions with a being that he remembers very well, he pulls him into this mission to stop Lilith.
They will need to try to figure out a way to survive in the world of Sanctuary in all of its turmoil since Lilith has come back. We have a lot of new characters that you'll be experiencing in the world of Sanctuary. One of them is Prava. She leads the Cathedral of Light. The Cathedral of Light is a militaristic faction led by Inarius. Inarius is the ultimate supreme leader, but she handles the day-to-day.
She acts as a bridge between Inarius and the other followers of the Cathedral of Light.
She was at rock bottom when Inarius met her. As you can imagine on Sanctuary, life is brutal. Inarius uplifted her and taught her the tenets of the Cathedral of Light.
Ever since then, she's become his most loyal, fervent follower. She would do anything for him, and she just really believes in what he stands for.
Inarius is in various states of bitterness. You're seeing a faction that has done as much good as necessarily bad. You as a player get to decide how you feel about those actions, and Prava will be at the forefront of all of it.
Donan, he's one of the Horadrim. He is this very gifted mage who also is a scholar. We find him in this place called Scotsglen, where he's made a name for himself and become something of a hero. In Diablo 4, we'll find out what Donan's relationship with Lorath is and the Horadrim and how he became a hero in this place. Neyrelle is this young adventurer. She has traveled the world with her mother, looking for lost artifacts. She's spent her life going through old ruins and reading old texts and learning these arcane things. Together, they're searching for the remnants of the Horadrim. They believe in finding that, they'll find some purpose.
She is someone who is very intent on stopping Lilith, so she becomes a very strong ally for you and for Lorath throughout the game.
It's through her actions that Lorath and the group that you will follow will come to contend against Lilith.
Something that we tried to do from a narrative perspective is create people that are living in a very dark place, but still trying their best to live.
They'll have some scars, but they also have these pieces of beauty and humanity. We wanted to ground them in the circumstances of the world and make them feel real and relatable.
With Diablo 4, you're very much watching a tragedy unfold. It's definitely a story that we wanted to create around people, not just the apocalyptic elements that surround the story. And that's something that we really sought to bring to you as a part of the Diablo narrative.
Lilith is free, she has some followers, and she's back on her old business. She's gonna corrupt us or try to turn us to her side for her own ends.
The story of Lilith and Inarius is the darkest story we've ever told, and it expands the mythos of Sanctuary and the lore of the series like never before.